Hey guys, Master Thorn with the Edge Martial Arts here in Stillwater, Minnesota, and I want to talk to you. This is our week 4 about self-discipline. So if you've missed the previous weeks, like I always say, you gotta go back, gotta go watch those first. I want you to do this over a couple weeks span. I don't want you working on this just in 2 days process. But week 1, what is self-discipline? Doing what you're supposed to know, what you want to, right? And self-discipline is doing it by yourself without being told. You're supposed to find something that you could immediately start to work on. So hopefully, I don't know what the result is, because I can't communicate with you right now, but hopefully the result is that you've been doing this now for the last full 3 weeks. Whatever it is, making your bed, picking up your stuff, putting your jacket in the right spot, right? Whatever, like waking up on time, getting into the shower on time for school or work. And then week 2 is kind of talking about looking back and finding out that, hey, we have had discipline in the past or actively have discipline on something, and what is the benefit that we gain from that? And learn to figure out why. What is the motivation, right? Some people have discipline to do something because of the reward at the end. So the motivation helps us have the discipline, right? And if we don't care about the reward at the end, then sometimes we don't have the discipline to finish. And that's kind of what we talked in week 3, is that a lot of times if we don't have the proper motivation, the self-discipline's not there. Like if you don't like a subject in school and you don't understand how you're going to apply it to life, you don't have the discipline because you don't have the motivation, or you don't understand the application, which would be the motivation to have that skill set. And it could be for work, it could be for whatever. So we also want to look at week 3 and start to figure out what is it we failed on to have self-discipline, and what was the result? You know, how does it negatively affect us to not have discipline and finish off these projects, or getting to work or school or whatever it might be. Maybe it's a personal life thing, right? Relationships. So now week 4, I want you to start to think forward. Okay, hopefully you've been thinking about this small project you're working on. I want you to look at this from a martial arts standpoint, because we are talking about martial arts. What are you going to need to have self-discipline on to accomplish your martial arts goals? Whether if you want to be a tournament competitor, you want to be a world champion someday, it's going to take more self-discipline than just about anything else, right? We can get a bunch of people testing for black belt at the same time, right? And that's great. You're not going to have a bunch of people at the exact same time being a world champion. That's very hard, right? So if you want to do certain tasks, certain goals you have set for yourself in martial arts, you're going to have that self-discipline to really work towards it. There's a lot of work going into some of these things. If you want to get your black belt, or maybe you're already a black belt, you're trying to get your next degree of black belt, there's going to be discipline that's going to have to happen. Instructors, coaches, we can tell you what it is you're supposed to do. We can remind you to do it. We can sit on top of you telling you to do it. But that can't always work. You have to come in with the mentality that you're going to do these things on your own, or you're going to ask, what steps can I take to better myself or reach my goal? And that's part of that discipline. You need to take it upon yourself to try to make yourself better. So going forward, we'll always kind of look out 12 months, right? So 1 year out, and then if you're thinking, you know, world champion in the future, high ranking black belt, then obviously you start to have those further goals out too. I want you to start to figure out what things, because we've talked about this already, are you not going to be motivated to do? Is it getting to the point where you can do 50 push-ups in a set, right? Because if you don't like push-ups, there's no motivation there. Like, I'm, going to be good at push-ups. People don't usually get motivated by saying, yeah, I'm going to be good at push-ups if you don't like them. The motivation should be you'll actually be able to accomplish whatever rank you're going to, because you can do your push-ups. So I want you to think forward. What is something that I'm going to have to do that I'm not going to have a motivation tied to? There's not going to be much motivation, but I just understand that it's one of the steps along the way to get to my goal, my martial arts goal. And I want you to think about how you can try to attach some kind of motivation to it. This is going to build better self-discipline in me, so I can apply it to other tasks, whether it be school or work, or other segments that I'm going to enjoy doing, right? Getting down a specific technique or skill set, or whatever it might be, getting to my favorite class on time. And I want you to start to figure out, how are you going to benefit in the next 12 months from having self-discipline? Where could it take you compared to maybe where you are now? Could you accelerate your promotion progress? Could you accelerate your skill set progress, right? Could you build this self-discipline and then take it into work, take it into school, take it into relationships, and then start to accelerate or build those kind of things in life once we teach ourselves how to do these things? So I want you to look forward in the next 12 months. How are you going to build self-discipline? What activities are you going to attach yourself to and make sure that you do regardless of wanting to, but needing to get them done to accomplish things? And then after you start to build that discipline by doing these activities, what other areas of your life would you benefit from an additional level of self-discipline? So thank you for watching this month on the self-discipline videos, and I want you to really take some time, think back, watch each of the videos again if you need to. They're not very long, and start to figure out how we can ultimately change ourselves or even build upon ourselves by this simple skill set of self-discipline, right? Doing what we're supposed to, not what we want to. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next month.